So, welcome to tutorial 2 of my tutorial to model a Star Trek based spaceship. In tutorial 2 we want to model the warp engine, and in the first part we want to model the Bussard collectors. So for this reason let's go to layer 2, so then that we have an empty area, and go to the to the top view, and let's start with inserting UV sphere. Let's open our menu here to decrease numbers of vertices. Let's say 12, or let's say 8, or let's say 12. 12 is better. 12 and also 12 rings. So this is our sphere now. Let's go to edit mode and remove the vertices which are on the lower side. So this one. Actually, let's see if we have all vertices. Yes, it seems like we have all of them, and remove our vertices by pressing the X key, and so that we have the half of our sphere. So let's select all vertices and scale it up to the Y axis like this. Okay, let's immediately add our subsurface modifier, and let's make it smooth immediately. So that's our basic shape. Actually that will be the inner part. Let's add material to it, new Bussard red light. So let's choose a red color for that, clearly red color. Remove the yellow part of it, and then of course it should be emitting. It should be emitting quite high. Let's say 8. And that's already it. So now, while we are in object mode, let's add another object here. Actually, let's select the vertex here and put our cursor on it by pressing Shift S and choose cursor to select it. Then we will add it perfectly in the center. So let's add I don't know, let's say a circle. Okay, so let's remove them again, since we wanted to add it in object mode like this. So this and this are different objects, and remove it again since we want to decrease the size of vertices here too. Let's say 8 should be enough. Yeah, and let's add a subsurface here too. Rotate it to the X-axis by 90 degrees like that, and make it small. So this is our circle now. Here we can go to edit mode and extrude it a little bit into the Y-axis. Y-axis, and do it again and again, so that we have 4 vertices here. Let's go to edge selection and select this face, and I want to have this face more like showing into the X direction, completely into the X direction. So let's select all vertices, rotate all of them into the Y axis, and just do it like that. Let's zoom a little bit here that we can see it better. So this one should be completely like this. Okay, then actually we can select this one and we can copy it, move a little bit inside like this, and then let's let's put our 3D cursor somewhere here, and then we can say let's increase this by pressing Ctrl up and say spin. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. So let's select all of them and scale it up to the y-axis so that the shape of this and this is approximately the same. So like this. Okay. And let's select all of them again and scale it down a little bit. But let's choose the our 3D cursor as our pivot point. So let's scale it down again. So exactly like that. So this way, and scale it up again so that it looks more and more like our shape, like this. So let's control it. Okay, this looks quite good. And now let's look at on our mesh from the front view and select all of deselect all vertices and select all of these vertices and put the cursor to it, cursor to selected. And now we can just select all of these vertices by pressing the L key again. Just let's correct this part here, which is because of the subsurface, by saying subdivide, no, Control Z, sorry, not subdivide, loop cut and slide, and let's divide, cut our mesh here and move it to this part like this. And another thing is which we want to do is actually to we can just do it like this, select all of them again and move it a little bit more inside. So, but be careful, we don't want to touch this part here. Okay, then let's look on our mesh from the upper side again. Deselect all vertices, select all of these, go to the vertex selection, and then actually let's have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 should be enough. To have 4 we should have 90 degrees. If we have 8 we have 45 degrees. So let's try it out with 8. So 45 degrees, so let's copy them and press escape, and we have still our 3D cursor as our pivot point. If we say rotate, we have 45 degrees. It should look like this. Okay, perfect. And let's just do the same again, and the same again, and again, and again, and again, and again, like this. It's not smooth yet, so let's smooth it like this. And now the very special part can already start actually. But before we do it, let's close this. No, we don't need to close it. I think that will look quite cool if there's a red light in the middle of it, in the center of our shape. Let's add a new material to it, and let's choose, actually let's choose texture, a cloud texture. Choose a red here again, but a little bit more dark red, like this. So we will have a quite dark red area there. Texture is not a good name, so let's call it Bussard. Rotate inner texture. Okay, and this should be a white, maybe a little bit more red, right, like this, and it should be very emitting, like even more than the other one. Like this. Let's save our file and just take a look how it looks. Okay, it's quite white. So this one should be emitting too. Okay. Yeah, that could be good, but must. I'm not sure. Let's reduce it to 3. Look again on it. Yeah, so that we see some white parts too. Maybe let's say 1. Too much. Say 2. Okay, that looks quite good. Maybe the red part should be a little bit more bright. Yeah, okay. That's of course not all. So now let's start rotating this part by going to the graph editor and go to frame 1, and let's say go to the front view, and let's say press the I key and say rotation, just rotation. We just need the rotation. So here we see that we saved the rotation for our X, Y and Z rotation. We want to rotate, oops, oh, that was the wrong, Control Z, let's remove it. I just had the wrong material. Now I think I had the wrong mesh. Now I have the right one. So let's save it again by press rotation. Oh, this was wrong too, sorry. So let's go to frame 1 again, and now be sure that we have this one and say I rotation. So we saved again the rotation, and we want to rotate around the Y axis, so we don't need the Z and the X axis, so let's remove them so that we just have one part, and it should rotate very fast, like a helicopter or something like that. Or, maybe a helicopter is not a good example for Spaceship, but just the visual effect should look a little bit similar, very fast. So let's say let's go to frame 10. Okay, it doesn't work, so let's go to frame 10 like this way, and let's rotate it again, and choose our median point as the rotation part and say rotate 360, confirm E rotation. And that's something which is a little bit confusing. If we rotate it by 360 degrees, it's for Blender it's the same like being at a rotation degree for with just 0 degrees. So we have to correct that. We said 360. Just let's select the key in frame 10 here, which we just saved, and we can unfortunately he just added this once again, so we can remove them again, so we just need the Y rotation. Then we can select the correct vertex and move it along the Y axis with 360 degrees. The scaling here is quite bad right now, so you see 1 degree, 2 degrees, so if you want to change it, we just need to press the Control key and the middle mouse button and move the cursor down, so we scale it along the Y axis, like this. Okay, much better scaling for this purpose. Here is 360 degrees, so now in 10 frames it will rotate exactly 360 degrees, or 36 degrees a frame. We will not be able to see each degree of rotation. I think that will look quite cool, I'm not sure right now, but we can adjust it if we are not satisfied afterwards. Okay, now we want to, of course, that it doesn't stop rotating, so let's add again a modifier, a cycles modifier, like this. Okay, I just wanted to check something out because of this wave structure here. This shape is actually okay. It's completely okay, since here we are in 360 degrees and here we are in degree let's see, something like 4 or 5 degrees again, and again 360 degrees, and then it rotates all the time. If you want to have it continuing, you can just remove it and say, and use this time the extrapolation mode in linear extrapolation, and this way we will just continue rotating it, and the decrease will increase. For this purpose, the result will look exactly the same, so I like doing it like that. So we can save it again, and now our outer part of our Bussard collector will rotate automatically all the time. And to have it a little bit more cool, let's copy this again. So the outer part of our mesh again with a different object. Let's say Shift D and move it along the Y axis. Actually, no, don't move it. Be careful that you have selected a medium point and scale it up a little bit. So that we have 2 of them. Okay, scaling should be enough. The material should be another, so let's go here and say oh, that was a bad name here. We can since here's a tool, we already explained this tool, it's indicating that 2 objects are using this material, so we can, if we change the name here, the materials for both objects will be changed. So let's say rotating part and of Bussard collector, Bussard. So, and now we want to single add of Bussard rotating part 2. So this time we will have a more red one, like this, a little bit yellow maybe, like this, and also that now the texture might be the same. Let's see. But now this part, actually I want to have it rotating into the other direction. Okay, to have that, we have just 2 keyframes here, so what do we need to do is increase this keyframe by 360 degrees and decrease this one by minus 360 degrees. Oops, okay. Minus 360. Okay, one moment please. So the problem was that I have selected both circles here, so, and we don't have a name right now. That's not good. So let's select the inner one here and say in object mode that this is Bussard rotating inner. Let's copy this and let's call the mesh the same. Now let's select the outer part and say outer, and here outer 2, like this. Okay, this is the outer part, this is the inner part. I don't want to see this one right now. I just want to have the outer one, and then it should work if we move it 360 degrees and decrease this 360 degrees. So let's save it. So what we now have is one part rotating in like clockwise and the other counterclockwise, and they have different materials, so I think this will look quite cool. But of course it's not all, so let's select now our inner emitting part and copy it and scale it up so that it occludes all of it. Why do we do that? This is the let's think. Okay, this part can actually be one object with the inner part. So let's select the inner part and the outer part and say Ctrl J. Oh, it was already. Oh, so now if you press Ctrl J, when both objects are selected, they will join. They are joined. They get joined, or they become joined, and they get joined, and it is now one object. Now let's select all outer vertices. We don't want to have. Let's call this warp engine. We don't want to have the same material here, so that's another material. Say Bussard transparent. Bussard transparent. Save this and assign it, of course, like this. So then actually we want to have this part transparent, otherwise we will not see what we did inside. So let's choose weight race and let's select an alpha value of 0.2 and let's select here actually you can see a preview of the material which we configure right now. The Fresnel value should be something like 2.0. Know that the inner part became a little bit more transparent and the outer part not, and we can adjust that by setting the blend value to 1.5 so that it looks like this. And let's increase the depth a little bit, which will increase the rendering time a lot, but also will increase the quality. And actually let's select mirror 2, and the value of the mirroring should be just a little bit. It should not be too reflective. We want a little bit Fresnel here too. Let's set it to 0.5 and the blend value to 1.5. And of course you can put the depth here too. Glossy amount 1 is okay. So that's it. Let's save it. Additionally, we can adjust the color of it a little bit, and it can actually be a little bit emitting too. So like this. Let's save it and let's see our result. Okay, looks quite okay. Let's add something else. The specular value should be a dark red and very intensive, like this. And that should be all for our first part. And right now all of these are not parented to each other, so let's select this mesh and this mesh, and at the end our surrounding mesh, and say Ctrl P object. Now if you move the parent object, all of them will follow. And yeah, that's it. Now let's do a little bit more stuff here. No, not with this, but with this. Let's select all outer vertices here and extrude it a little bit through the y-axis so that we can close this part. Okay, and then go to face selection and select all of these vertices here I wanted to say, so I have to select them like this. Okay, and actually the lower one too, or maybe just the lower one. So let's go to this view, deselect all of them and select the lower vertices, faces, sorry, and these ones, and add a new material. No, actually, do we need a new material? Maybe we have already one. From our hull part we need a new slot, that's for sure. Bussard hull bottoms also, no, we need a new one. So select a new one and let's say hull standard. So that should be a little bit gray, and we want to add again a texture for this. Say cloud is actually okay, but not with the basis of Blender Original, but with cell noise, like this. And if we add normal here, we will have a structure which will look quite cool. Oh, we have a pink or purple here, you don't want that, so let's select a black, or yeah, let's a little bit more like this. And then the material should look like this. So let's save the file and assign it, and save it then again so that it looks like this. And maybe you can also select these ones for that, so that it looks like this. So let's save it and see our result again. Yeah, looks much better, I think. Since there's no light in our layer, this part is completely dark right now. And actually, because of the subsurface, the shape is not exactly like we wanted it. But actually I like it. We could again cut and slide it to make it more like we shaped it, but I like the shape like it is right now, so I keep it. Let's go to layer 1 and take our lights. Or let's make it simply like this, that we move our ship to layer 2 and go to layer 2 then, and take our Bussard collector and move it to layer 1, and of course the inner parts too, both of them. And then we can go to layer 1 again, and we have the same lights we had before with the ship. If there are lights in the field, of course, the rendering time increases. So now we have a shape, a much cooler shape here. So that's it. The inner part will rotate. Maybe we could adjust the Fresnel value and the blending value of our transparent material so that it will be not so see-through, or the alpha value maybe, but right now I like the result actually. So that was the modeling part of the Bussard collectors. That I think enough for tutorial, for the first part of our tutorial. I'll just render it and add the result to the end of this tutorial. So see you in the next tutorial, and thank you for your attention.